Got there eventually. Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Feedback Friday. Matthew in the building. Chilori, oh no, friendo. Hello, hello. Let's do this. How's it going, everybody? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? Aldi, what's up? I've done nothing today, but in my defense, I did a lot of driving home from our honeymoon. Nice. Where did you go? Anywhere nice? Mrs. Chilori. Love to hear it. What up, Robert? How you doing? Type in the chat for Chilori. Port Marion. Port Marion. In China? And Wales. Nice. God, that looks beautiful. When did this stream start? About 10 seconds ago. Looks really nice. I'm actually here on time. You're here on time. So if you don't know how this works, folks, yeah, it looks beautiful, Chilori. Was it sunny as well? If you don't know how this works, basically, if you have something for feedback, so your artwork or your games or anything like that, we can put it in the spinny wheel thing. There'll be a wheel, you can submit your name, and whoever gets chosen gets feedback. That's how we're doing this thing, like a lottery. It was sunny yesterday. Sunny, yes, it was lovely. We stayed in a castle. Nice. You stayed in a castle? That's sick. That's sick. What the heck am I doing? There we go. Okay. I joined the wheel. Oh, epic window again. Just for the win, I think. I win because I'm the only one now. No problem. Let's see. Let's see if you're right. Epic window. Anyone want to be on the wheel? Let me know. Sneezy. You can add me, okay? Oh no, a friendo. We'll probably only do this for about an hour today. Best part of the week, let's go. Me as well. Wurzil Dings. There you go. Add soul tools too. Pretty bold guy. No. What happens if we're on the wheel? So if you've got something that you want to be feedbacked, basically, so you have some work, you have some artwork, you have, I don't know, a game or whatever. Basically, we used to just go through them one by one. But the problem is it takes so long to go through them one by one, and the people usually have left or they're not here and they're not receiving the feedback that they need. So we've changed the system to basically, if you want feedback for something, you just have to attend the stream and we'll add you to the wheel, and the wheel will decide who we talk about, basically. I've been too busy to art with the whole wedding. Oh yeah, just that small thing going on. Of course, of course. So if you'd like to be on the wheel, just let me know. Otherwise, we'll start spinning. Best part of the week, let's go. Apart from the flower I did for the daily prompt for pink. Nice. Still, you still managed to fit it in. What up, Luke? What up, Sano? What up, Kerhab? How you doing? Where should I upload my art? To the Discord. We have a community Discord with a feedback section. Pop it on there. And if you get selected, so this is how it works. We'll spin the wheel. Yeah? We'll spin the wheel and someone will get selected. Bing, 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 whoever this is. And then what I want you to do is make sure your artwork is on the Discord ready in the feedback section, and then ping me. Ping me when you win, basically. Just at SoulTunes. That's all you need to do. Type at SoulTunes, tag me, and then I'll see it quickly. And we'll move through it swiftly. If you don't do it swiftly, then you're potentially holding up the queue and reducing the amount that we can get through. So make sure you do it swiftly. Otherwise, I mean, no repercussions really. Everyone will just hate you, basically. Okay. I got chewing gum I gotta get rid of. It's annoying. Okay. Let's do this. Arting, arting, do 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 do. Right, there's 3 on the wheel. Let's spin the wheel. More people will come in and then we will spin the wheel again. Here we go. Epic window. Let's get rid of epic window quickly, because epic window never got anything for feedback. Like I said, get rid of epic window quickly. Don't forget to breathe manually, of course. There you go. Epic window, you've won. And then who's next? Unless you actually have something, epic window, then that would be nice. But if not, there we go. Let's spin again. Bing. Next up is nope.avi. Thought so. Congratulations on winning anyway. Wurzildings. Wurzildings. Tag me. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Lizard, what up? How you doing? Doing good. I'm doing pretty good, thanks, Luke. Yeah, went for some nice food today. Like a tally tray thing. Very good. Here it is. Let's go. Already, just like that. Very nice and quick. Just like we like to see. Nice and quick. So this is a shark. Very nice. Was this for the daily challenge? Very cool looking shark. What up, Zubu? How you doing today? I'll definitely like to be on the wheel. Robert, I'll add you in. This is a cool shark, everybody. Look at this. I love the colors you're using, the color selections. Some nice dithering going on here. You got some cool dither shading going on. It almost looks like this thing. I like the way that you've done the colors because it kind of looks like this thing stands out. Like this thing especially stands out, the fish, right? But then the shark is in the background ready to munch. Can I be added to the wheel? Of course. Serbu on the wheel. I think the shape's really nice. You've done a really good job with the silhouette. Like, whoosh. What up, Really Goose? How you doing today? Lizard for the wheel, of course. Okay. So feedback. Yeah, very readable, very cool silhouette. I think the only feedback I'd give is probably just more shark related. Thanks for following. This is Not Green. Hello, hello. It's just shark related, like anatomy wise, right? Maybe we could see something. Let's have a look at a shark. I don't know much about sharks, even though I've drawn one recently. We need a wheel bot. I know. We do need a wheel bot. We're going to have to figure that out. Gonna have to figure that out. Shark bite. Biting. Shark biting. I guess it depends on the type of shark as well, doesn't it? Let's just go with the standard. Standard great white. Maybe make it wide and the bottom half more straight or concave. So I'm just looking at this. Warning. And I'm seeing like the shape you've got going on here. It kind of represents that. Like the nose bit I can definitely see. Maybe like something like that for the mouth. And have the teeth come out there a bit more. Obviously you can't actually see the fin, but maybe the fin could be seen there. You know what I mean? Like round here, the bit of the nose here, the mouth, round into the fin here, which is like in the background, which then goes into that. Mainly just about looking at the keyword references, mainly just about looking at references and trying to get that shape nailed a little more, because the head is the only thing that seems a little off to me, the head of the shark. But it is also really difficult in a small pixel size like that. I will give you that. You have a bunch of jaggies going on here with the curve, which I think helps, like, makes this part stand out even more as being kind of awkward. So you really gotta think about it. You know, you really gotta think about that. Practical NPC with the raid, hype in the chat. Thank you so much, NPC. How's it going today? How's your stream? What were you working on? Obviously your game, but how's the game going? How's development going? If you don't know, Practical NPC is working on an amazing game. You can check it out. You should check it out. You go check out NPC. Spider Queen, Panda Coda. What up? Game is going nicely. Good to hear. Good to hear. We're just doing Feedback Friday today. So for those of you that are just joining, what up? My name is SoulTunes. I make art, game dev stuff. Working on my own little game as well. I'll show you real quick. How are things over here? Getting there, you know? Getting there. Getting back into it. Getting back into it. I recently released a devlog about the artwork for my game. So that's my big task right now. But I'll show you the game real quick. It's called Faceplant. It's a Fordian type platformer. Everything is broken. So we've been going ham on the shorts. Yeah, the shorts are actually really easy to make. So the shorts are really easy to make. So I've just been basically just been doing shorts. Hold on. Hold on, everyone. Hold on. This is not a true representation of the game. Gotta fix it. Gotta fix it. Yeah, I'm enjoying making shorts and just just like drawing for fun. You know what I mean? That's kind of what the shorts are. Like just drawing things for fun now and not stressing about it. Not a true representation of a game, but yeah, definitely true representation of game dev. I don't know why the flowers aren't working either. What is going on with my life? One of these is not like the other. Art area 1. Is it you? Is it you? Okay, it ain't you. Maybe it's you. It ain't you. No, it ain't you. It's you. It's you. It's you. It's not you. It's not you. Oh my god. It's been so long. Yikes. Okay, now will it work? No. Why not? That works. Give me a second here, folks. We're getting there. Alright, whatever. I'm just going to play it like this. It's kind of like this. If you want to see the actual representation, just watch the video. But this is faceplant. You only control the jumping. You do not control anything else. You jump as high as you can. There we go. There's some plants for you. Some flowers. They need fixing. That's probably going to be the next devlog. And that's it, basically. Try and get as high as possible. Oh, there you go. And you fall down. Simple as that. Really simple. The game's finished. Just needs to be artworked. Done. Release. Did you draw the background? I did. If we want to get faceplant when it's released, do we have to pay? Yes, of course. What up, Anna? Yes, you must pay with your soul. Your life. You've got to shave your head. Shave your head, get a free key. Just kidding. Don't do that. I mean, shave your head anyway. What up, TJ Mac? But yeah, we're doing Feedback Friday today. So what that is, basically, you submit your work, your games, whatever, and we will give you some feedback. Maybe. We'll add you to the wheel anyway. There's a wheel of people. Is the plant's overdraw effect caused by the Kyoto time? No, the overdraw effect's because the tiles are broken. That's what I need to fix in the next devlog. But we were just talking about this shark today. Enough of me. Back to you. We're just talking about this shark. I think it's a really cool shark. And I just think a bit more thought towards the anatomy of the shark, especially in the head region, which is obviously the most important because it's about to bite this thing. You know, the shapes and making that a bit more readable. Maybe you could include the fin here in the background. But overall, really cool style. Really cool style. Really cool silhouette. Really cool dithering. Some nice pixel art techniques you got going on there. Who's next? If you'd like to be added to the wheel, let me know now. You may not be added when you are not when we're doing feedback. You may only be added now. So please speak now, forever hold your peace. Can I be added? Of course. This is not green. Did we give a shout out to NPC? We did. That's good to hear. How much do we pay for the demo? £100 for the demo. New approach for the feedback? Yeah, because the other one... So basically, the way this usually works is we have a feedback section on the Discord, and the old way was we would just go through these one by one, basically. But it would take so long to get through them because we got so many submissions that some people just wouldn't be there anymore. And we're giving feedback to someone that doesn't get the feedback. So it's better to just turn up to the stream, and we'll add you to the wheel, and you might get feedback. Simple as that. Can I be added? Of course. Good evening. What up, Blood Queen? How are you doing today? If anyone wants to be added, let me know. You have 10 seconds. 10. 9. You like the light flickering? Thank you. Thank you. 9. There's more to come for the background. The background isn't finished. There's more to come, and there's a lot more backgrounds to be worked on for faceplant, but I like the way it's going, and I've got some tricks up my sleeve that I'm not going to be sharing. Unfortunately. Unfortunately for you. I'll share it once the game's out, but until then, no thank you all. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let's spin the wheel. Who's going to win? Today, it is going to be Lizard-like. Let's go. What up, Germinator? Lizard-like. Tag me. Tag me, tag me, tag me. Congratulations. You're going to get some feedback. Tag me in your post on the Discord. Let's check it out. Ready to go. Ready to go. But yeah, faceplant's going well. Released the new devlog. I tried a new style for the devlog as well. It was kind of like making it as quickly as possible rather than spending months on the devlog. I think I only spent about 3 days on it. But it's kind of good because most of the stuff I already have. You know what I mean? Most of the stuff I already had from previous devlogs. So, and the stuff that I made, I just made it in Paint rather than spending months drawing things out custom-wise. And I think it works well for the devlog because the whole point in the devlog is just to update on the game, right? It's not to make this super fancy video. Like, I'd rather just work on my game than work on videos. What up, Ghost Lupo? Does it make you feel isolated or lonely? I feel like we've seen this. Or maybe I've just seen it off stream. Not sure. This is a different one? Okay, cool. I don't usually do music on stream because it gets tagged on YouTube, but we'll do this one. Let's listen. Does this make... Okay, chat, here we go. Here's a question for you. Does this music, it's going to pop off in a second, does it make you feel isolated or lonely? Let me know in the chat. Give me the vibe. What is it? How does it make you feel? Oh my goodness, Trash Tunes with the raid. What up, Trash? Let's do a quick shout out to Trash. How's it going, dude? Been a while since I've heard from you, my friend. I've noticed you've been following, not really following, but like I saw that you had some issues with Rufus. I hope everything's going well, dude. Great last video, liked it a lot. Plus ball, plus hope the game keeps going well, plus gotta go. No worries, Trash. Thanks for hanging out, dude. Thanks for the raid, appreciate you. Scary part is gone. Thank the heavens for that, Trash. Hopefully it keeps going well, dude. Thanks so much for the raid. Hype in the chat for Trash, everybody. Boo, boo, boo. What up, Robert? How are you doing today? Okay. Tell me how this song makes you feel. Are you ready? Welcome, Trashians. Tell me how this song makes you feel. Can you hear it? Loud and clear. Epic Window said smells like FTL. Mess said sounds pretty hopeful. It's like a track from Hyperlight Drifter, says Sano. No, says Sarah. Just no. I guess the isolated or lonely. Sounds good, says Germinator. What up, AltaDev? How you doing? I'm sad because I'm not allowed to pay for games. That's why I only have free games. Well, I'm sure we'll be able to sort something out, Anna. Crystal Cave vibes. Brink, what up? Polo, lost. It's given sci-fi for me. What up, what up? It's given sci-fi for me. Father Tunes in the building. The music kind of reminds me of a music disc from Minecraft. Whoa, whoa! Just got attacked. Reminds me of walking through a cold, snowy, icy cave with no one walking by my side. Okay. Reminds me a bit of The Longing. Okay, so this vibe is giving me... For those of you that don't know what we're doing, this is a song, and you have to decide the vibe. The vibe that it's given me is sci-fi, like mystery. I think Epic Window for me kind of hit it on the head with FTL. FTL exploration. I can imagine exploration during that. I don't necessarily get loneliness out of that. Mostly mystery. Gothic Fairground. Oh, that's interesting. You were going for space vibes. That's good. Sci-fi space vibes. Ambiance. That's the right word. Yeah, ambiance. Yeah. Gothic Fairground. That's interesting. Cool. There you go. There's your feedback, Lizard Like. I mean, there's nothing more we can give on that. Just how we feel, which is fair enough. On to the next one. Nice tunes, though. On to the next one. Who wants to be on the wheel? You have exactly 10 seconds to say it in the chat or forever hold your peace. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.5, 2, 1, 0. We're going to spin the wheel. Germinate, I'll add you in. Robert, congratulations. Congratulations. Tag me in the post. Let's go. Germinate, if anyone wants to be added to the wheel, add me now. Or tell me now, forever hold your peace. Okay, let's go. If you go to the server, it's the Pixel Art Fox. You can't just tag me. This one. There we go. Nice and easy, at least. Yeah, you can just do, for those of you that don't know, you can just tag at SoulTunes. And boom, easy win. Southpaw Studios, this is nice. Firstly, I will say, just from seeing it. One thing, yeah, no worries at all. One thing that I like about pixel art like this is when you zoom in, it's kind of like, whoa, there's a lot going on, right? But when you zoom out, it looks really good. Looks like a fox. Looks detailed enough to be a fox. A couple of things that I would kind of point out is from the zoomed out view, some things like stand out a lot. This in the tail, like this might have been intentional. This block here, I kind of imagine it. You're kind of giving the tail like a flick. You know what I mean? You know, like the size flick thing. And that's what you've used that for. There's a lot of colors going on, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think it has like a cool vibe when you're zoomed out. I don't know necessarily whether you need to simplify that or not. Silhouette wise, it's pretty good. Let's actually take the silhouette and let's see. I'm going to put this in Clip Studio Paint and let's see. Boom, 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 boom. What up, Brian? How you doing? Do, 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 do. Oh my goodness, please just apply connected pixels. Don't do that. Increase the tolerance. Do this. Quickly color it in. Oops. Reduce the tolerance. Do that. Silhouette's pretty good. Could be a squirrel. I think you could improve the silhouette a little bit by providing more gap between the tail and the head. I think you've only got a small gap there. You bought A-Sprite because of you, and I'm really happy. That's good to hear. Yeah, A-Sprite's awesome. So there's a cool trick with like little things like the flick and stuff like that. This is you don't have to do this, but it's kind of like the rule of 3. Where you provide 3 things, big, medium, and small, basically. So if you want to add spikes to something, and obviously this is really hard to do in pixel art, so if you want to add spikes to something, having a big, medium, small thing is really nice to do. This is because this one spike by itself, okay, you can't see it. The one spike by itself really stands out, right? But if you to add another one, let's say, I'm just going to quickly draw over the top of this. It's not going to be pixel sized. Oh no, my tablet isn't working. Why not? Did I unplug it? Is that why? Yeah, I did unplug it. Give me a second. Okay. Let me just draw this and show you what I mean. So we take this as the big one and just do a little one. Maybe there. And then an even smaller one. We'll do a smaller one here. Can you see how it adds more to the shape? Now this one, because it's like that, may need to be rounded off a little bit more. Hey SoulTunes, how goes the feedback? Going well, Pugs, going well. It's a rule of 3. It makes things feel more balanced, basically, because the reason that works is because you only have one spike here, right? And because there's only one against a rounded shape, so basically the 2 shapes that you can see here, you've got a rounded shape here, and then you have a sharp shape here, contrasting that. Whereas if you go like this, and then you do a little one, and then a little one, notice how it's balancing it out a bit more. You know what I mean? Is Clip Studio Paint for digital art and pixel art? Yeah. I use Clip Studio for mainly just digital art and stuff. I have used it for pixel art and stuff, but I prefer a sprite for pixel art. Balance makes sense, yeah. Another thing is just playing around. I think you've got a lot of colors going on. There are probably some colors that you don't need. And I'll say that with a pinch of salt because you have a nice style going on here, right? There's no need for you to like simplify the colors if you don't want to. Like, but you can help clarity and readability of shapes and forms by reducing the color amount. Like, notice how I could just replace all of these colors with this one color. And I'm going to do the same for the shadowy type colors. I'm just going to take all of this, turn it into one color. And the thing here is, I think, what difference does it make? I think that's the thing to kind of think about. Like, what difference does this actually make if I just take all of this and I simplify it down to like 4 colors? It's kind of hard to do because you have so many colors. Let's take like a medium one, maybe like this one. Too dark. Let's just do this one. Like I said, you don't have to do this. This is just I know you have anti-aliasing in there as well, but notice if I zoom out, right, what difference does it make? Very little. I mean, what I mean by very little is those extra colors aren't helping that much with describing the form or selling it. So you can make your life a lot easier by you can make your life a lot easier by just reducing the amount of colors that you're using. Some things to take away: create balance, use only the colors that matter. It depends, you know, depends on you. It depends on the style that you're going for. There's nothing wrong with using more colors, but it's something to think about. If you feel like you're losing control, of the piece, it's much easier to control a piece with fewer colors, right? Because you can just go, okay, I'm going to draw a piece, okay? I'm going to draw a piece, and this is how it's going to work. This is my orange for my fox, the mid-tone, okay? And you only really need to think about a couple of things. If you've just got one base color, right? This is my base color for one material. This is my highlight color, and this is my shadow color. And if you think about it like that, you can build basically anything from that. You know what I mean? And you can do that with everything. So, okay, here's another base color. We've got this, and then let's take a shadow color, and it might not even need a highlight. It doesn't even need a highlight. There you go. You can reduce it even further. And that makes your life a lot easier because you don't have to think about, oh my God, what am I going to do here, 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 and here. And then you can start to add on top of that. So once you've got your form described with your base colors, then you can go, okay, well, what about anti-aliasing? And anti-aliasing is just the in-between colors. So maybe you'll add one more color. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you add one more color here. Boom. There we go. We'll add this one. I'm going to add this one to my palette. Now you've got an in-between color. What about the anti-aliasing between these two? Okay, no worries. I'll add one more color. And this way you've got much more control over your palette. You know what I'm saying? And you're controlling the colors rather than the piece controlling the colors for you. Not that that's bad. Like, the piece can dictate the colors as well, because I think this has a really unique effect. And zoomed out, it looks fine. You don't really, it doesn't really make a difference. So I say it doesn't really matter, but if you want more control, you can do it that way. Will the stream be uploaded? Yes, of course. But it depends on the style and what you're going for. But overall, it's really cool. The ears look a little big, but you kind of like it anyway. Yeah, I like it as well. Maybe some more separation could help there. Like maybe a couple black pixels here to really separate the foreground from the fox. The foreground of the fox and the background of the fox. Like, that's something I like to do in my pieces, but again, stylistic choice. But you can it's more clearly visible when you zoom out. Like, it depends on how much you want to rely on those black outlines. Like, if you do that, notice how immediately the fox background ear stands out more from the foreground ear, and the same with the tail and the leg. Keep it simple. Keep the get the general shape, iterate until you're happy. Same. Yeah, exactly. But building it up, you know? Building up. Is Pixaki on iPad a good app? Yeah, of course. Can you rate my first game? You can be added to the feedback if you'd like. Okay, folks, back to the wheel. If you'd like to be added to the wheel, let me know now. Forever hold your peace. Nice one, Robert. Thanks so much for sharing the fox. Very, very cute. Nice color choices, by the way, I will say. They looked very vibrant, very saturated, and it's a cute little fox. Keep it up. Are pixel art apps better than painting apps like Procreate for pixel art? To be honest, just pick one and stick with it. Pick one and stick with it. Doesn't matter which one. And most art software has the same. I would say if you're doing pixel art specific stuff, maybe pick a pixel art one, but Procreate offers there are people who make good pixel art in Procreate, and there are people who make good pixel art in the pixel art related apps like PixSquare and Pixaki and all that stuff. Just pick one and stick with it. And most art software have the same tools, the same everything. Once you learn one and you get good with one, you can really easily jump to another one. Like I first started with MS Paint, right? I first started with MS Paint just on the school computers, and then I picked up Photoshop, and I learned Photoshop, and I learned everything that there was in Photoshop at the time, and then I could jump to literally anything. Clip Studio Paint. Picking up Sprite was like light work, you know what I mean? Light work. It took me less than 10 minutes, basically, I would say. What up, Dino Brogo? How you doing today? We'll love to participate. Let's go, Green Pixels. You're being added. Green Pixels. Started using GIMP for the first time yesterday. Let's go. Very nice. GIMP's a good software too. Dude, GIMP's been going for a long time. Right, let's spin the wheel. Boom. Start on paint.net, move to Sprite. Let's go, Blood Queen. You'd like to participate? Siraj, I'll add you. Aki, hello. How long will the stream be? Probably another half an hour. Siraj, I will add you in right now. Don't worry. There you go, my dude. Okay. Whatever works for you, you know. You got people saying, oh, you should use this software, whatever. It really doesn't matter. Just use whatever works. Like, there are people who create entire animations using MS Paint. You know what I mean? It doesn't even have layers. And they create animations, fully fledged shows. So just use your thing. I think you can get stuck in this. When you're a beginner to, I need to take these off. When you're a beginner to art or any sort of hobby, it can be kind of, you can get stuck in that hole of like, where do I start? You know, what do I do? What software is the best? Any software is the best. just anything that you have available to you, right? I started doing a little story time about this. I started doing some more traditional pieces lately. If you're following on, I guess YouTube or any of the social media, I've been posting more shorts with some traditional artwork stuff, and I went out and I got some nice paper and some nice inks and some nice ink nibs, and I tried making something, and it was really annoying. It was actually mad annoying. There were recommended inks, recommended things online, and I read some forums about what to use and stuff like that. And guess what I like using the best? Cheap paper and the cheap pens, cheap biro pens that I've got. That's what I enjoy using the best, because that's what I've been using. That's what I doodle with. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. It's nice to experiment with stuff and to have good things, but it's not super important. You can use printing paper. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Pixel art in notebook in a cell. Exactly. Why not? Just tagged you on Discord. Let's go. My new game, Micro Carrot. Oh, we got a game. Let's go. To continue making pixel art like that, Fox, do you recommend getting a drawing pad? No, you don't need a drawing pad. You can use a mouse. Okay, this is not green. We don't listen to the music of games unless you can guarantee to me that it's not copyrighted. And I mean guarantee as in you made the music. Because every time I get a copyright strike from people's games that use music from online. I love using the mouse anyway. Yeah, me too. I use mouse for pixel art. It's not copyrighted. You made it. Sweet. And if, by the way, it only kind of matters for you, because if the video gets copyright striked or claimed or whatever from music from your game, I basically just remove that entire section from the stream. So your game would be gone from the face of the stream. So it's worth just doing it. Anyway, Micro Carrot, let's play. I don't know anything about this. I'm jumping in straight. I don't want to know anything about it. I just want to play it. Let's find out. Godot game, very nice. How do you make music? Just start singing. Oh my goodness, it's loud. For me. Loud for me. Micro carrot, beautiful menu. We'll take it. Let's play. Lovely art style, by the way. Everything is very high, high saturation. I love that, personally. I'm now a small carrot. I love that. And that's the end of the level. Interesting. New to Pixel Art? Well, welcome. Why am I on? I'm on a tomato. Love it. Very strange so far. But I like it. In a strange in a nice way. You know what I mean? It kind of changes the world. Okay. It's like a platformer where you go. Is this death? That's not bouncing. Nice. It's like a puzzle platformer, but there is no puzzles really. You just collect the thing and then you go back. Overall, the jumping feels. Oh, I died. The jumping feels quite nice. Let's see if you've got coyote timing. You've got coyote timing. Do you have jump buffering? You got jump buffering. Very nice. Oh, I died. How do I get stuff reviewed? Basically, we submit your name, and we add you to the wheel. So I'll do that on the next time. Next time you see the wheel on stream, that's when you may submit your name. Oh my goodness. Oh, I didn't bounce. Okay, the bouncing feels a little off, but we got it there. And then you post it on the community Discord. So I think this game, it's kind of difficult to tell whether this game is... I died. Whether this game is intended to be like a puzzle game or whether it's intended to be like a difficult platforming game or something. Can I make that? I can't make it. Doing pretty good. You made my day when you give me some feedback. Let's go. Big Small World in Mario 64. Yeah, I'm digging it so far. It's cool. I don't need to jump during that. Okay. I'm not bothered about the constant transitions are kind of harsh to my eyes. I like it. I don't mind the transitions. You're working on 10 new levels right now. Okay, so that was everything from Micro Carrot. Okay, so what I will say with this is, overall, very cool art style. Let me turn the music off real quick. Very cool art style. Okay, very cool art style. So let's start there. Very cool art style. Cute characters. Interesting mechanics, okay? Interesting mechanics for like big to small. The only problem was, I think, with the level design and the game overall, like I couldn't really tell what I couldn't really tell not what I was supposed to do. Like maybe it was too clear. You know what I mean? It was too clear what I was supposed to do. That was a really fun little game. I enjoyed it quite a lot. Yeah. But I think you could make it I think you could make it more enticing for there to be a challenge of some sort. You know what I mean? Like if you removed the big small element, it's a platformer without the puzzles. It's like platform levels. It's an interesting idea, right? Because you've got a screen like this. Let's break it down. Took me an embarrassingly long time to realize what the potions were doing. So basically it's like this. If I break it down to the most simple element that I could, right? I'm just going to do this, okay? Where you have a character who's large and the goal is not there. Okay? The goal is not there. Potion is there. The only way that you can get the goal is by touching the potion and turning into the little one. And there you go, the goal now appears, basically. That is essentially... It's interesting because it uses the same level layout and then changes it. That's the interesting thing about that. It uses the same level layout and then changes it. So you're basically just jumping around the same level but in a different way. The problem with that is I feel like it needs more, you know? Pampuri, thanks for the follow. And I don't mean more as in like things popping off and going crazy and whatnot. What am I trying to say here? How can I put this? How can I put this in a way that makes sense? I almost want to say, like, what's the point in just changing size? The mechanic pre-potion does not interact with post-potion at all. Yeah, and that's kind of what I mean. Yeah, like what's the point? And I know that it kind of changes the way that you go around the level, but it's kind of like, well, it doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? I've already like, this is how I see a platforming game, right? This is point A and this is point B. Ding, 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 ding. You go from point A to point B, and that's you having completed the level. But what this is doing is it's adding a point C, basically. It's adding a point C, and it might slightly change the level to something which now bounces. Usually there would be like pushing crates in big form so you could continue to solve a level in small form. Yeah, maybe there needs to be something that the big thing has to do in order to change the level. Like those bouncy things, right? Like maybe the big guy can push the bouncy things into a position so that it's like, okay, when I go small, I can do this. Because if you just take the potion straight away, there you go. It's kind of like whatever. That's a really good suggestion, Epic Window. Yeah, I really like that. I think that would give the game more meaning for the change mechanic, because without the change without a sort of puzzle element to it, like you're kind of just like platforming back and forth, and being the big carrot is kind of annoying because it's just kind of like, well, I just need to go get that potion so that I can finish the level. There's no point in being the big carrot, you know what I mean? You might as well just be the small carrot the whole time. Okay, folks, very nice game though. This is not green. Very nice little game. I think you got a lot of potential there, definitely. Yeah, you got a lot of potential there for sure. Cute characters too. Pampuri, hello, welcome. Okay, who needs to be on the wheel, my friends? It's back to the wheel. Back to the wheel, back to the wheel, back to the wheel. Let's go. Who we got? Apothrodise. I will not, by the way, I won't add anyone to the wheel while I'm giving feedback. Okay? So you wait until you see this on the screen, and then you can be added to the wheel. SD0. Kino Nick. Vindictive Toast, do you want to be on the wheel? I'll add you. So the way that it works, basically, you submit the artwork or the game into the Discord section in the feedback section. If you get selected, then make sure you tag me on the Discord. Can we submit screenshots of the game? Of course, yeah. Can I join? Of course. What up, Thomas James? How you doing? I still don't see the feedback section. Strange. Have you tried scrolling? So if you go to Discord, it should be, if you scroll down, bing, 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 it's under the art section, feedback. If you can't see it, you might need to accept the rules and stuff. It's like an exception rule. You need to accept the rules when you first join, all that stuff. And then you should be able to see it. Then you can post into feedback. By the way, this feedback isn't just for me, by the way. Anyone can jump on at any time, check out people's artwork, check out people's games, give feedback. So even if I'm not streaming for Feedback Friday, feel free to jump on, ask for feedback, see if anyone will help you out. We have an art helper role that you can tag. We have lots of different things for the community. You can help each other out. That would be nice. In fact, that's the cost of submission from now on. The cost of submission is you must give feedback to somebody else. That's quite nice. Quite a nice rule, you know? Pay it forward. Okay, let's spin the wheel. 3, 2, 1. Oh, hold on. We got one more. There we go, folks. Boom. We're going to spin the wheel. Let's do this. Discord public. It is public. Lucky. Lucky. We just added you on. Make sure you tag me. Tag me in your post. Let's go. Boom, 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 boom. Congratulations. You have been selected. Tag me in your post. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Boom, 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 boom. Thank you, KK Hugs. Appreciate that. You have 10 seconds. I think what we'll do is this. We'll do this. Let's spin the wheel 3 more times. So we already got 1 on the list. Let's make a note of these. You joined the Discord like last month. I've been doing the daily challenge. Nice. Okay, let's spin the wheel 1 more. Yes, I'll add people to the wheel as well. Germinator, congratulations. You have won. Oops, I didn't mean to spin it again. I didn't mean to spin it again. Please, Germinator, win again. Nice. Appreciate that. Germinator, congratulations. You won twice in a row. This wheel is broken. The wheel is rigged. Rigged wheel. Dino Brogo. If Green Pixels wins this, by the way, it's rigged. Danilo. There you go. You have been added. Green Pixels wins, it's rigged. Let's see. If it's rigged, we'll have to choose a different wheel. Okay, it's not rigged. Hit shuffle. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. Kino Nick. Okay, we've got 3. We'll do another batch, don't worry. We'll do 2. We'll do 1 more batch after this. Okay, tag me, tag me, tag me. For those that have just won, tag me. How can I join the Discord? Don't ask to join the wheel if you're not on Discord. Please. You're holding up the line. Anyone else who's won, feel free. There's the Discord link. I've just put it in the chat. Okay, here we go. Let's just jump onto this one. Whose is this one? K? What was the K? Kiddo Nick, let's go. Check this out. Boom. Discord. Check this out. Animating for my 3rd time. A simple animation practice. Very nice. I like this. 3rd time animating. That's hype. This is really good. Lots of different effects going on there. I think it would be nice to see more anticipation going on. So I've got a video on the 12 principles of animation. So definitely check that out. So notice how we see the little guy. He pulls up the sword and then like immediately slashes it, which is kind of cool because you get the sense of like, quickness and speed. But it would be nice to see that anticipation like kind of hold at the top a little bit more, I feel, just so it gives a bit more impact to the weight. The attack and everything, the block, like being knocked back by the sword and then like falling back and the little effects and sparks popping off, that's really cool. Your 3rd time animating, I really like that. That's sick. That's really, really cool. Please make this into a game. I would play this game 100%. It's very clear what's going on. That's a really difficult thing to do, Kino Nick, like making animations, like staging. You've done staging really well. Your timing's pretty good. Secondary animation going on, overlap, very, very nice. Most of your principles are nice. The only thing is I would like to see a little bit more anticipation or timing, exaggeration with that sword at the top. That's it. I'd like to see that just to see what it would feel like, you know, just to see what it would feel like. And you can make, another tip is you can make impacts feel heavier by pausing or holding the frames a little longer on the impact. So just as it slices the character, like there, you can add a couple more frames for it to hold slightly longer, and that'll make, it's called like hit stop, basically. It's used a lot in fighting games, but hit stop, that can make it seem more impactful as well, which could be cool to see. So maybe add some hit stop, maybe a little bit of anticipation, and that would be sick to see. Very, very cool. Dino, you're on the wheel, I believe. How do you submit games? In the same way that you submit the artwork, you go into the feedback section, and there you go. But that's a very cool piece. Very nice. Let's move on. Next one. Germinator hype. Let's go. Germinator, what was your Piscal Episcopal German house. This is very nice. Save image. I don't want to save the image. I just want to copy the image. There we go. Ah, that's the problem. That's why we must save the image. Pixel house. GIF file format. Not my favorite. Anyway, we'll just do it in this. This is very cool house. What a fourth page are you doing today? Very cool looking house. I think you've done a really good job. You've done a really good job of capturing the house vibe. The German house vibe. I like that. Lots of anti-aliasing going on. I think one thing which is kind of not really unclear, I think you seem to have sort of a top-down, front-facing light going on. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It definitely works with this piece. But it makes it look quite flat, right? Because there's no indication of like light source really, apart from maybe the top here where this is in shadow here. Just depends what you're going on. Rasta Pasta, what the heck? Rasta, thanks so much for jumping in. Rasta is an OG of the community. Super OG. Been around a long time. Hey, hype in the chat for Rasta. Hello, Rasta. Appreciate you. How's it going? How's life? Boom, 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 boom. Did it. Very nice vindictive toast. Cool, cool. Yeah, this is a really cool piece. Again, with pixel art, it can help to zoom out. Zoom out and you'll see exactly what you need to see. I think, to be honest, when you zoom out, it works very nicely. Adult life, yeah, I feel that. I feel that. Work, bills, I feel that. Yeah, when you zoom out, it looks really nicely. There was some rule about double pixel or something like that. Is that rule correct for pixel art with more resolution? So that's, to be honest, Hussein, I don't see those as rules. They're more like guidelines, right? So if you want to create, and you can think about it this way, there's a really common misconception with people with pixel art, right? And it's because a lot of big pixel artists will talk about this as if it's the gospel and you must only do this, you must only do that. To me, my approach is different to that. My approach sees that as just being one way to make art, right? Pixel art is a very, very, very small section of art in general. Okay, if you look at pixel art is like there, okay? Not even. Not even. Pixel art is there, and the wider art is like this. Wow, I can't even handle how big this is, right? Art is, and there's so many different things within art, so many different mediums, so many whatever. And pixel art itself, right? In terms of the gospel, I'd say it isn't a list of rules. It's a commitment in a relationship. Yeah, exactly. I can't control Z enough. Okay, let's just control new. How about that? I've made it too big. I've made it 14,000 wide. Maybe let's make the canvas smaller so my computer doesn't explode. Okay, so what I want to say is, if you want to make very clean pixel art, okay, then there are some things that you can follow. There are some guidelines that you can follow. Okay, and this is what people would consider pixel perfect pixel art. Okay, clean, pixel perfect pixel art. You'd follow things like no doubles, no jaggies, blah, 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 right? That's considered clean pixel art. However, there's nothing stopping you from using doubles or jaggies in any size. That's just a different style. It would be considered something else, you know? There's nothing stopping you doing that. However, I will say, as a beginner or anyone as an artist, it helps to be aware of what these things are, what doubles are, what jaggies are, so that you can dictate what style you're going for. Because you might go, okay, well, I want to make a piece which is, I want it to look really rough, and I want it to look, you know, I want it to look really cartoony and quirky and funny, and, you know, what am I going to do there? Maybe something clean might not maybe really clean pixel art might not suit that. You know, it might not suit what you're going for. It might not suit the expression that you're going for. So you could try adding jaggies. What comes to mind every single time we talk about this? Pizza Tower. Pizza Tower is full of jaggies, but it looks great and it suits the style so much. So don't think about techniques or individual things as being like a yes no type deal. It's a spectrum of what you can do and what you can't do, and certain outcomes based on the techniques that you use, basically. But having an understanding of those and the type of effect that they have will help you find the style and express things in different ways. You know what I'm saying? You talk about jaggies a lot, but I still don't actually know what they are. Okay. I have a video, Ultimate Pixel Art Tutorial. Watch that, firstly. But jaggy is basically like this. So people would consider jaggy like something which, like this is a normal pixel line, right? I can't draw a normal pixel line in this. I'm going to draw like this, which advances in an even, like not an even, but like the number of pixel advancements, it goes small to large, right? 1, 1, 1. Notice how it goes 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay? It's a smooth step up. You know what I'm saying? It's a smooth step up. If I just draw a line like this is called doubles, because you have like steps. You know what I mean? You have steps. So if you want to clear out all of the doubles, you do something like this. Anything that looks like a step, you clean it out. There you go. You now no longer have doubles. And that is, funnily enough, that's a clean pixel line. It's doing the same thing. Long, short, long. It's going up in steps, which are ascending. To get a jagged line, you do something like this. 1, 1, 1, 1. Let's go like 3 or 4. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. You know what I mean? Like it goes crazy. Like you just start messing it up, going like crazy ones. And this is not necessarily that bad actually, but it will stand out in a piece, right? It'll stand out in a piece when you have a jagged one versus a smooth one. This for example, in this piece that we've just looked at, notice how these areas here, Soul is unable to make art look bad. I know, it's just in my blood. But yeah, look, notice how when you look at this from afar, these lines look really smooth. And this line, because I've been going in different steps, it looks really jagged, right? You've got that jagged effect going on. You have something similar here, where you're basically going like 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, and then 2, and then 2 along. Like this is causing a sharp. This is the importance of an individual pixel, right? This looks sharp from the outside because of the pixel steps that you're going up in, and that looks jagged. You would say that was a jagged step right there, because it doesn't look like a smooth line. It looks like a jagged step. You see what I mean? If you were to just draw a line like that, that's what it would look like. So you've got to be careful of jaggies, and that's what I mean by that. Check out the Ultimate Pixel Art tutorial on YouTube if you want a better explanation of that. That's the one I made. But yeah, you don't need that, you know. You can have jaggies. Like let's have a look at how can you have no doubles or no jaggies? Like without jaggies or doubles, some pixel art won't really stand out. Of course, you can definitely have pixel art with no doubles or jaggies. In fact, it's called it's what I was talking about, the super clean pixel art. Super clean pixel art. Like let's see if we can just find an example by typing in pixel art to Twitter real quick. Wow, that was boobies. Okay, let's not share that. Boom 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 boom. I don't know if I've got an example at hand. You watched it a year ago? I know. It's one of those things where, like, I made it a year ago and I'm forgetting what I've done. You know what I mean? You've got to... Or a couple of years ago and I've forgotten what I've done. You've got to really practice the fundamentals over and over and over and over and over. But anyway, let me just show you Pizza Tower firstly. Pizza Tower is an example of pixel art that uses jaggies very, very well. And I've spoke about this a lot of times before. But I think it uses jaggies and, like, unclean lines. You'll see exactly what I mean, right? you see how the line of the arm here, it appears jagged. Why does it appear jagged? Because it's going dirt. You see what I mean? It's not a clean line. You know, it's not a super clean line. So if you wanted to clean that up, you would do something like hold on. If you were to clean that up, you'll do a different line. You would do like and then you'd go, you do your 2 steps, and then you'd go 2 down, you know what I mean? You'd start to clean it up, and then you'd have a different shape on top of that. Like you take the 1 shape, which is a simple line, clean it up, get rid of all the doubles, blah 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 blah, and then you just start to make sure all of the shapes were super clean. Get rid of the doubles. Pick a shape which transitions nicer, like that probably. And it's therapeutic to clean up pixel art, right? It's very therapeutic. That doesn't look very good, so I'll adjust that a bit. And there you go. You can see that I'm starting to have no doubles, no jaggies. It needs fixing. Why? Because there's a jaggy there. So I'll just change the pixels around. You know what I mean? Like, we're starting to get really clean lines, really clean shapes, and I probably will do that as well to make the transition even smoother. You know what I'm saying? That's how you clean pixel art up, just like that, to clean pixel lines. But there's nothing wrong with jaggies as well. Jaggies, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a thing. Just go pixel joint. You'll find all the nerds there that worship these techniques. If you make a single pixel off, they will start crying. Yeah. And it's not, you find a lot of that on, like, there's nothing wrong with it. And that's the problem with it. Like, there's nothing wrong with pure pixel art, like clean pixel art. There's nothing wrong with that. It looks really cool and it's really impressive. And the techniques are great. And there's nothing wrong with the complete opposite as well. And that's the thing that I don't like, you know, is when people start to say you should never do that. You should never step out of line. Like, do what you want. You're an artist. The whole point in being an artist is expressing yourself in any way that you want. You know what I mean? Don't let someone dictate what you want to do. And they're silly rules. Because they're not rules. They're guidelines. Remember that. Okay, next up. Let's spin the wheel. Very nice German house. I think you did a great job. Perhaps you can make it depends on what your goal is with the house, but I think you've done a good job. One key tip that I will say is reference is always going to help you. It's always going to help you draw something representative of the thing that you want to draw. Germinator. I think you've done a great job. There's no meta on what a good art style is. Yeah, there is no meta. And going against the meta is a thing that you can do. The meta of clean pixel art, you can go against that and create your own style completely. I'd look into It definitely helps to learn the techniques, though. I definitely recommend looking into like doubles and jaggies. Watch the Ultimate Pixel Art tutorial that I've made. I'm also going to be making I think another series on that, so we'll see. Should I begin with 8-bit or higher? 8-bit makes no sense to me, the way that you said that. So 8-bit is usually referring to the CPU, computing systems of the game, the type of. So this is a very, very common misconception with pixel art. People go, oh, I'm going to make 8-bit art, referring to pixel art. But basically, 8-bit is referring to the type of processing power that the CPUs had for pixel art games. There's a lot of within 8-bit art, there are millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of different possibilities. What does make sense is someone saying 1-bit, because 1-bit, it just means 2 colors, black and white, or 2 different colors. Like this is 1-bit right now, the black and white that I'm drawing. This is drawing in a 1-bit style. But 8-bit doesn't really make sense to me because the amount of possibilities is basically endless with 8-bit. I think it's much better to refer to it as just simply pixel art, and then your restrictions within that, as in what sizes are you going to use? Well, okay, I'm going to try a 24 pixel canvas, 24 pixel by 24 pixel canvas. If you look at 8-bit games, for example, 8-bit color, because of how many colors can fit into memory, a maximum of 258 colors. Yeah, imagine that being your limit. You basically are not limited. But let me take a look at this real quick, right? Look at this. This is an image I've just stole called 10 Best Fighting Games on 8-Bit Consoles. These are 3 different 8-bit games. They are 3 completely different styles. They're 3 completely different art styles. You know what I'm saying? 3 completely different art styles. So don't like the 8-bit thing is confusing. Pixel artists are some of the pickiest about techniques preferences. They're almost reaching old school impressionist versus classical debates on drawing swords on each other. Yes. I loved reading about the classical art stuff of going against what the classical styles were. I think that's great. I'm of the opinion that you can do whatever you want. It really doesn't matter. It really does not matter. I'm definitely not picky about techniques, and in fact, I really like it when people push the boundaries of a medium. In fact, I thought of something recently, a new style that I've never seen before, and I'm going to try making something with it, and that excites me. That excites me more than perfect technique. You know what I'm saying? That excites me more than that. If I made a character of my game, 64 pixels. So you've got a character, boom, 64 pixels. Should everything else be 64 pixels like trees, houses, enemies? Okay. Should everything else be 64 pixels like trees, houses, enemies? Up to you. That's the answer. Up to you. If you don't want pixels, you can use any canvas size. Just don't scale up anything game. So pixels is when you scale the pixels. You can have, for example, you can base things off a pixel grid like that. So for example, if your character is 64 pixels, you can then have a tree which is a combination of 64 pixels. Or maybe you can have it like, there you go. This is your tree, for example, right? Tree's this big. Okay. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. The tree fits into that grid. Your character fits into this grid. You can do that. It doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. If you want it to be pixel perfect, then it matters. But the pixel perfect, you have to remember that the only people who know what pixel perfect mean are pixel artists. Pixel artists and pixel enthusiasts. The general consumer doesn't know or care what that means. So it's completely up to you. Do you want your game to be pixel perfect? Is that something you're aspiring towards? Is that a style that you really like? Then sure, try it. Try making things out of 64 pixels. You can't even have them the same size. Like, boom, boom, boom. There we go. Everything is the size. My tree is now 64 by 64 pixels. You know what I'm saying? You can do that if you want. It will be a different style. It will look different. It's up to you. Like the old Zelda games, for example, they built Zelda sprite sheet. They're built out of different sized tiles. Like the head and the legs and all that stuff. They're on different parts of the body. You know what I'm saying? Body. Let me see if I can find an example. But it doesn't matter. Like if you want to do that, you can. Do you have to do that? No. It has a certain style, you know? General consumer just cares if it looks good. Not even. Have you seen Vampire Survivors? I would say that Vampire Survivors is a fantastic example. And I'm not saying Vampire Survivors looks bad, by the way. Vampire Survivors is a great game, and it works exactly for the game that it is. But in terms of what I think most people would consider good, like if you tried to objectively create an art style that would do well, you know what I mean, with the techniques that you're given, you can't really do that because art is subjective mostly. You know what I mean? Art is subjective. Like what looks good to someone doesn't look good to somebody else. And if you try to objectively break it down into techniques like, oh, well, I'll do clean pixel art and I'll make it pixel perfect and I'll make it look and I'll make my palette really nice. There is, for your game, it really doesn't matter. If the game is really good, you know what I mean? If the game is good, it will stand basically not on its own, but your artwork doesn't have to be as well. Now, that not saying though that good art can definitely elevate a bad game. Good art can elevate a bad game, but you don't need good art. If your game sucks, your game sucks. Sorry to hear that. It does help to hook people in, yes. Good, like I said, good art can elevate a bad game, and it can help to hook people in. However, My Vampire Survivors artwork, I would say, is like an example of the original anyway. Everything that people like pixel art purists tell you is wrong with pixel art. Doubles everywhere, jaggies everywhere, mixels everywhere, bad color palette. You know, it's everything. It's everything that people say not to do with pixel art, yet it is sold how much? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. This is an example of mixels, by the way. This wolf character is using mixels, doubles everywhere. You know what I mean? You see mixels everywhere, jaggies everywhere. It's not a good example of the cleanest pixel art. Guess what? General consumer does not care. Does not care. Depending on the game. Anyway, dithering is easy in pixel art apps compared to painting apps, correct? Depends, really. I mean, I'm using a painting app that has dithering brushes, which make my life a million times easier. I think there are options for everything. I don't know where my brushes have gone. I do have a dithering brush somewhere, but that makes my life easier when I want to dither things. Depends on the software. Some of them have, like pixel art specific, you'd hope would be better, but I think there are tools for everything. Plus, I like doing my dithering manually, so it doesn't really matter. I remember making games for Basic on Commodore 64 with 16 possible colors, but you could get 256 by quickly flick. Yes, I've seen that. That's really interesting. What do you think on kinetic chains to animate pixel art on Unity with imaginary bones? I saw people hating on it and saying I prefer to play a game with shitty animation and not with kinetic chains. Do what you want. It doesn't matter. Do what you want. Those people, the vocal minority of people, there'll be people, if your game is good, they'll buy your game. You know what I mean? If your game is good, just because you used a kinetic chain, like the difference between you selling is not going to be the fact that you used a kinetic chain. You know what I'm saying? It isn't going to be like, oh my god, this game is absolutely amazing, but the fact that they used a kinetic chain, like I just can't support it. You might get one person like that, or a very small percentage of people who care about that. You know what I mean? Do whatever works for you. Do what you like and what works for you. Don't get stuck in this, oh, I have to make it look like this. What is a kinetic chain? So it basically means like this. So if you have a character, right? Body, legs. A kinetic chain is basically animating it with bones. There's a bone system with animations. For example, like you'd have the head, you rig it basically. You have the arm, elbow joint, hand. You know what I mean? Elbow joint, hand, probably some shoulder joints. You basically rig it like a skeleton, okay? And then you animate the skeleton without animating the pixel art. And you can see that with an example of spine animations. And they look really cool on 2D, actually. So spine is a piece of software, which I'll show you. I haven't got this piece of software because it is mad expensive. I would like to use it, but it's mad expensive. I don't have the money for this. But is there like a showcase? Here we go. So you can create animations really easily, for example, by rigging characters. You see what I mean? You see it in a lot of mobile games. You see how they got like bones everywhere? You animate the bones, you only have to draw the character once, basically. With usual animation, you have to redraw the character over and over and over again. You only have to draw the character once, and then you rig it and animate it that way. You know what I'm saying? And you can get some really, really cool effects with that. I mean, Cult of the Lamb uses that. Cult of the Lamb uses that for the animations. You know what I'm saying? About games, I've had faceplant on wishlist for a year. Rasta, don't remind me. I've got to release it at some point. I appreciate you having it on your wishlist, though. That's hype. I can't wait to release it, actually, when it's finished. Whenever that will be. We'll see. But anyway, cool pixel art house. We went off on a tangent here. Let's do a couple more. Who else we got? We got, oh my goodness. This character I made for a game jam. Are you on the list, my friend? Who else we got? So we've just done we've just done Germinator. We've done Kino. Now we need Harsh Varden Shinde. Sorry if I messed your name up, everybody. Tell me which your piece was, Harsh, and we'll check it out. Like, why do people hate on kinetic chains? Just because they think it's cheap and whatever. Like, do what works for you, I think. They'd rather play something which was like hand animated. And that's fair enough. You got a preference, But a lot of people like Aki said, a lot of people can't even tell. Yeah, a lot of people can't even tell because it's so well done. Thanks a lot for the feedback. No worries, Robert. Thanks for submitting some work. Am I still in? You are. Harsh, are you still here? Have we looked at your work? Whose work have we not looked at? I feel like people have just tagged me without being on the list. Don't just tag me if you haven't won. Okay, let's just spin the wheel again. I don't know if Harsh is still here. We're going to spin the wheel. We're going to spin the wheel. You're still here? Is that you, Vindictive Toast? Yo, Harsh. You got a different name? I don't understand. Confused. No, you're not? Okay. Did we? No, you're still on the wheel. Okay, no problem. Let's spin the wheel. Let's spin the wheel. I'm going to do one at a time because I got confused then. One at a time. I got confused. SD0, tag me in your work. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Tag me in your work, SD0. If you haven't been chosen, don't tag me. Because I will I got confused. I'm confused now. This is my confused face. Take this off as well. I was so hopeful, Zerbu, he's so close. Okay, SD0, let's go. Let's go, let's go. By the way, you're all submitting some really nice work. Sorry for the confusion, no problem. SD0 says 1 second, no problem. This looks really cool. Edelweiss, by the way, use a grappling hook to reach the summit of the mountain. Looks nice. You were not selected though, unless you were selected. Sorry I tagged you, have slow connection. No worries at all, Siraj. Looks cool. Potion Master. Interesting. What a master player. Here we go. I spent hours trying to make the muscles look realistic while learning human anatomy. Oh my goodness. Anatomy questions. We love it. It would help if you could export it a little bit larger so we could see it. It's kind of blurry, like your pixels end up blurry. If you need to export it larger, just use low spec rescaler. Unless you have the way to do that with your own thing. Like this, for example. I might just do it for you, actually. Where is it? Copy image. I can't. The URL, maybe. Pasted text is not a URL. Well, it kind of is. Oh well. It didn't work. We can kind of see it. It's just a little blurry. It's okay. We'll work with it. We'll work with it. Not to worry. We can do that. I can do that. Fixed. Solved. Okay, cool. First of all, very nice colors. Cool design. Crazy looking character going on here. I don't know what the character's for, but it looks nice. You got some cool like electric-y tattoos going on. Not bad. Anatomy wise, it's pretty good. Anatomy wise, it's not bad. You've got the pectoralis. You've got the abdominals. Missing some obliques, kind of, but that's okay. Bicep, kind of. Forearm. Got the clavicles in there. Massive traps. No shoulders. Just traps. No shoulders, just traps. That's okay. So I think we'll talk mainly about the anatomy here. Because that's what you're aiming for, right? Anatomy and how you study anatomy. It's kind of boring, but it's also really simple. Does anyone know the number one word that I'm going to say here? I'll start to write it out. Anyone before I finish writing it? Anyone know? I'm going to just do it very, very Reference. A friendo, exactly. Reference, 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 reference. I used the reference. Show me. Show me the reference that you used. Post it in the same thing. And one thing you can do is, why is he just extremely slim? So that's the major part, right? The major part of learning anatomy is proportions, I think. It's super, super important to start with learning proportions, I think. Because let's say you don't learn proportions, okay? This is what happens when you draw a character. Okay, I'm going to draw the head. Okay, let's copy the anatomy. Okay, I'm going to draw the neck now. Okay, I'm getting the neck anatomy. I'm just going to copy this photo. Looks really cool. There's the clavicles here. Okay, let's draw some arms on this. Nice, dude. Oh my god, I'm following the anatomy so well. Like, I'm doing so well. Very nice, very nice. Let's do a chest in here. Okay, and then the stomach. Oh, these abs. Don't forget the abs. I can see the abs from my reference. Very, very cool. And then let's do that. The other arm. Very sick. Oh my goodness. So good. And then you end up with something like that. And the reason you end up with something like that is because in proportion to each, you're focusing on each individual element and not the elements in proportion to each other. So we've got an arm here, which looks perfectly fine, but it's connected to a hand, which is far too big. And there's no such thing as really too big, right? No such thing as too big, because, you know, it's about how you use it. I mean, it's in proportion to other things, and it depends on the thing that you're going for. Like, the proportions of this character work really well for creating a funny, comical looking character, right? This is from a mirror, definitely. Yeah, this is me. Dad bod for sure. Yeah, definitely, Alexander. And this, you know, it works the proportions of this work really well for being comical, for being funny, because they're so skewed, they're so off that it just looks funny, right? So the reason you study proportions and measurements is so you can compare the different body areas and then make it look more like what you want it to look like. So if you want it to look more realistic, for example, and by the way, realistic, I'm talking on a spectrum here. Like, realistic anatomy, it really depends. There's so many different body types in real life that there's so many different ways that you can go. However, if you just start with general basic proportions, you can then change it. So let me show you this thingy of body type. I want to show you this just to kind of athletes. I spelled the word athlete wrong, but you're going to get the idea from this image anyway. So these are different body type proportions, just to quickly show you, just from athletes, okay? Like, you have so many different ones, like longer legs, skinnier legs, skinnier frame, tall frame, like bigger torso, like insane muscles, like chubbier with thicker legs. But notice how they kind of all still follow the same type of proportions in terms of like skeletal structure. And that's because the skeleton, yes, it changes, but it's not super different, right? Like, let me take a color here. It's going to stand out green. If you do the hips, you also have a torso, okay? Rib cage, leg, knee, Notice how it all kind of scales in the what word am I looking for here? It all kind of scales in proportion to the rest of the body. You know what I mean? It follows the same type of rules. They scale, like, yeah, the legs might be longer on this character, on this person, and the arms might be shorter, but it scales in proportion. You know what I'm saying? So learning just very, very basic proportions, then you can scale it how you want. So learn basic measurements of like the arm length. Where should the elbows go? You know, obviously there's a range of where they can lie, but generally it's to the underneath the belly button. Sorry, the elbow to the belly button. Okay. and then the arm to there. So there are general proportion rules that you can learn, and you'll be able to learn these from any anatomy book, basically. Any drawing anatomy book will break down these proportions for you, basically. Vitruvian Man, yeah, Vitruvian Man, check that out. Vitruvian Man's a good one. I'm not going to show it because penis, but, you know. Let's see if there's one without a penis. You've been playing Spike Bull a bunch and you really like it? I'm glad you like it. Dude, yeah, I'm not going to show a penis, but, you know, I don't want to get banned. What do you think on the art overall? What can be, what do you mean where can be enhanced? Oh, your art overall? That isn't the art. Where can be enhanced? I think proportions. I think proportions firstly. Secondly, one thing to look out for is this stepping. So you might not be aware of this. This is called banding. Okay, and banding, again, there's probably a use case for banding. There's probably a use case for banding, but banding is where you do steps like this of the same size. And the effect that this has is it breaks the pixel art grid, essentially. It makes it look like, can you see the effect that this section has compared to another section like this? You can avoid banding by just by breaking the step, you know, make it look more like anti-aliasing. You're no longer breaking the grid. Or you can just use solid shades colors. I'm going to have to do it like this. One sec. Solid shading for your colors. That's going to help you avoid banding. I think my dad was a spider in time. You got me to the wheel? Almost. What up, Moon Man? You're late. Yes, definitely late today. I have a problem with banding. Yeah, banding. Banding breaks the grid. There's probably a cool effect that you can get with it, but if you just shade like this, where you just go like that, because it's following this, it's basically revealing the pixel art grid underneath. You know what I mean? Like pixel art is kind of like hiding the pixel grid. You know what I mean? Can't really tell where the light source is. Yeah, it's difficult to tell. I think the character is like made of light and is like emitting light, which is hard. You can make a character look more 3D, and this might not be your goal. Like flat might be your goal. I'm not. Who am I to judge? You know what I'm saying? But you can easily make a character appear more 3D by just having one strong direct light source. So I'm just going to quickly add one in. I'm going to do it from the top. I'm going to hide a lot of things that might be in shadow. And all of a sudden you're getting more form, you know what I mean? You can play with that a bit more, like maybe these, what do they call, like serratus or something like that? Serratus muscles, obliques. The more you learn about anatomy, the better you'll get at that. But notice, if you zoom out, boom. You know what I'm saying? Just a quick addition. But anyway, let's move on. It's a very cool piece. Keep it up. Learn pixel techniques. Learn about the basic pixel techniques and the effects that they have, like the banding. Learn more about proportions. Proportions are going to help your anatomy massively. And light sources to help your form, if that's your goal anyway. But overall, cool character. Very nice design. Very creative. Cool colors. Thank you very much for sharing. Let's move on. Wheel time. Okay, I got like 3 more in me. Okay, I got 3 more in me. Let's zoom 3 more. If you'd like to be added to the wheel, now is your last opportunity. Last opportunity for the wheel, everybody. Moon Man on the wheel. Moon Man. Last opportunity for the wheel, folks. Would you say after learning these principles, you can figure out how to break the proportions rules? Yeah, of course. Of course. He has no shoulders? No, he doesn't have any shoulders. I did mention that, yeah. How do we get on the wheel? You just ask. I'll add you. And make sure, okay, so this is how it works. If you're on the wheel, make sure you submit the artwork to the Discord ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Ready to go. Okay, so this was your reference you were saying, okay? Notice the proportions. Shoulders. Those shoulders are massive, by the way. Here's one big problem. One big problem with using drawings. This is for everyone. Drawings, 3D sculpts, anything which isn't just a real body as reference. The problem is, right, when you're trying to get reference for anatomy, if you're taking that reference from drawings, 3D sculpts, you're doing this, right? This is anatomy, this is the body, okay? This is an artist's interpretation, and this is your interpretation. Okay? You're basically going to a middleman. You're going to a middleman, and you don't know, you can't verify if that middleman hasn't made mistakes. So in the process of interpreting the body and the anatomy, this artist might have skewed the proportions. They might have changed things about the body. They might have changed things. They might have taken those general proportions and tweaked them, right? And then you are going to look at their interpretation, and then you might change the proportions and you might tweak them. It's much, much better if you're learning anatomy, I think, to just go straight to the body. Go straight to the source. Just try and get, like, there are so many good pictures of, like, athletes, for example. Athletes in action, you know? Noisy second-hand information? Exactly no. Clear first-hand information is what you're going to need, because I can see problems with this already. The problems that I see with this are these shoulders in proportion to the body are huge. Like, those are huge. Also, we see a bicep which is kind of flexing with a tricep which is flexing at the same time. Like, I know it's elongated, it's the elongated head of the bicep, but they kind of look both like they're tensing, you know what I mean? Whereas only one can tense. Like, only one can tense. Either your triceps tensing or your biceps tensing. And I mean tensing as in, like, what's the word for it? There's a word for it. Concentric or something. Like, when your bicep is big, your tricep is elongated. You know what I mean? And the opposite is true. When your tricep is big, your bicep is elongated. Contracted, that's it. Contracted. That's what I mean. Contracted, flexed, contraction. Yes. So this, you got to be careful with somebody else's interpretation of that. Having a better understanding of the underlying anatomy is going to help you. You know what I mean? Help your understanding. Morty, I have an issue with everything looking flat. Any tips on learning how to add more volume or depth? I feel like I understand it, but I can't apply it, if that makes sense. Really, really simple. Really, really simple. Okay? This is a circle. How do we add more depth and volume? Add a light source, okay? Boom, pick a light source. Top right, it's going to be there. Boom. Where's the highlight? There. Okay? Here's the shadow. In fact, I'll do this in a different color. Oops, hold on. Do it with a pencil tool. Here's a ball, okay? Or here's a circle. Here's the light source. Let's color in the ball. Wow, I really messed that up. Here is shadow. I should have picked a different color. Hold on. Here's the shadow. I used the wrong tool. One sec. There you go. It's got volume with a simple highlight and a shadow from a certain direction. Now this is the wrong shape, so please excuse me. Next step, let's add in some bounce light. Because guess what? These light rays, bing, 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 bouncing back into your eye, bing, 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 not hitting this area, the terminus, the darkest part of the shadow. But guess what? They're going to go back, create a cast shadow. So this thing will have a cast shadow. I'm going to draw it in red for now just because it's on a black background, but you get the idea. Red for now. In that, when it comes back, bing, 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 it's going to bounce back. Bing, 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 not in the shadow, around the shadow. So I'm going to take this, bing, 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 add some bounce light. And there you go. You've got some form, okay? One thing that really helps you draw form or describe the form of an object is, of a 2D object to turn it 3D, is describe it with contour lines. Have an understanding of contour lines. Like, what is this thing? Imagine it's a 3D wireframe, basically. That's going to help you draw where the shadow lies, basically, where the planes are. If you imagine something as being built up of a lot of different planes, like from the most basic element, if you take a cube, right? A cube has how many faces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 faces, right? Now you can imagine a sphere as having a bunch of different faces. You know what I mean? Like broken up. You can imagine a sphere having a bunch of different ones. Same thing with a cylinder. One face, and just imagine a bunch of planes along this edge. You know what I mean? So if you can apply lighting to a circle and turn it into a sphere, if you can apply lighting to a cylinder, if you can apply lighting to a cube, you can apply lighting and form to everything. Literally anything. Any complex shape can be broken down into circles, squares, triangles, which can then be turned into pyramids, cubes, spheres. And then you just apply the exact same thing. That's how easy it is. People overcomplicate it. It's not that complicated. Oh my god, Donho with the raid. Hype, hype, hype in the chat. Thank you so much for the raid. How's it going? How's your stream going? Let's give a shout out to Donho. Donho. Appreciate you. Hello, hello, hello. How was your stream? What are we working on? My name's Soultunes. I do art and game dev, for those of you that don't know. We're currently doing Feedback Friday, where we give feedback. We only got a couple. We only got a couple left. And then we're calling it for the day. But I appreciate you jumping in. I'll show you my game that I'm working on. It's called Faceplant. It is a Fordian platformer game. Writing an RTS game in C? Oh my goodness. Sounds complicated. I only know noob. Noob language. I'm making a game called Faceplant. It's this, basically. You play as this little character. You can only control the jumping. And that's it. You control the jumping. Bing, 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 bing. Ah, boom. And that's it. There's a full game. It's taken ages to finish, but you know, you get the point. My brain imagined a sphere made of mushed up airplanes. Exactly. Thanks for the love on the videos. I appreciate it, Donho. Why does it always seem like you get raided when you're about to wrap up the stream? I think it just takes a little time. I do appreciate the raid. Of course, of course, of course. The aesthetic of Faceplant is so good. Thank you very much. What a progress. Nice. Thanks, Rasta. Yeah, I just uploaded a new devlog for those of you that are interested. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Please, can you tell us how to draw hands? Yes. Exactly what I've just been talking about. Okay, let's get a picture of hands and let's break it down. Hands, right? People overcomplicate hands. Again, people overcomplicate everything when it comes to art. Hands are no more difficult to draw than anything else. The reason hands look difficult to draw is because there's a lot going on, right? I'm going to take a picture of this hand, right? Whoa, big hand. Look at this hand. You look at this and you go, oh my god, this is so complicated. And what most people do is they go, I'm going to try and draw the hand. Oh my god, it's like so, and you end up with something that looks like that. Okay, which isn't that bad, to be fair. Thanks for the follow, .dev. Appreciate you. However, once you understand that everything can be broken down into basic shapes, you can draw anything. You can actually draw anything. Check this out. Let's not even think about 3D. Okay? Let's not even think about 3D. Let's just think about basic 2D shapes first. What can we do? Okay, I'm going to take this. This is a square. I'm going to take this. This is a square connected to a rectangle. What is this finger? Oh my god, look. Rectangles. 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 How can we make this more complicated? Circles. Circle here. Circle. I feel like that bird that goes metal. Circle. Okay? Boom. There you go. Basic shapes. If you can draw this exactly, you now have a decent looking hand already. You know what I mean? Where is it? Look, remember the proportions. Look at the measurements. This distance. Make it the same distance here. Boom. 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 Oh, I'm messing it up. I'm doing this with a mouse. Apologies. Boom. And you already have a decent hand. You know what I mean? You already have a decent hand. How do you make it? How do you go even further? Okay. Well, you do that, then you turn it 3D. Okay? How can we do this 3D? Well, this. Boom. Boom. You get a better understanding of shapes. This is going to be this shape. Boom. This is the top plane. You understand? Now, these fingers, I'm not going to draw them as rectangles. You could, and you could do them as planes like rectangles. I'm going to do them as cylinders. Cylinder up, cylinder there, cylinder there. Cylinder that connects that way, except this time the line is going that way. If you imagine the line going this way, the contour line, it's now going that way because of the way that it bends. You know what I mean? And those are like 3 separate things right there. One forward facing, one backward facing. You know, you see what I'm saying? You start to do that. There you go. Now you have an understanding of the shape in 3D shape. And what did we just say? What did we just say? If you can apply lighting to something, a basic shape like a cube, that's a cube, lol, or a sphere or a cylinder, you can apply lighting to anything. And that's how you do it. There you go. This is just a cylinder. The fingers are just cylinders. Not complicated. You can do a cylinder. You know what I'm saying? And then you can just go more complicated, like adding more complicated shapes. These are circles with more cylinders on top. You know what I'm saying? That's all you got to do. That's it. Boom, boom, boom. You can draw that. If you can draw a circle, you can draw that. How do you put contour lines? Okay, so contour lines, I can imagine if you're just going from your mind, it can be quite complicated the first time you do it. But just, spiral, the spiral technique, okay? Do this to get used to this. Just draw a bunch of spirals, getting bigger and smaller, okay? What you'll notice about these spirals is if you connect them with a line around the edge, let's just look at this section here. What is this? It's a cylinder. And those are the lines. Those are the contour lines going around it. Can you see that? And that's going to help you wrap your head around 3D in a 2D space. It's a sausage. It is. That's when you can wrap your head around 3D in a 2D space. That's going to help. Perspective's going to help you with that a lot. Like practicing your perspective. Okay, like if I draw a square here, right? Oh my God, it's just a square. Now, if I follow the perspective lines, I can turn that square into a cube. Now, when I draw a cube now, I imagine the cube in perspective, okay? But I don't need the lines because I've done it so often. I don't need the perspective lines. I'm just following the same perspective in my head. You know what I mean? I'm just doing it in my head because I've done it so often. And then you can connect things like, oh, I'm going to connect a cylinder to this. You know, I'm going to connect a cylinder to this. I'm going to connect a small cylinder to this. I'm going to connect some spheres to this. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to connect another one here and it's going to be this shape and blah, blah, blah. The better you get at it, the more you can add things, blah, 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 blah. And you can create things more complicated. But it all starts with a basic understanding. You know, knowing the fundamentals. Square, not trapeze. Yes, trapeze. Fundamentals. Practice your fundamentals. You'll get better. I will have a course on the fundamentals at some point. But there you go. What were we doing? 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 Was someone going to tag me? I'm sure someone was going to tag me for the wheel. Who hasn't shared their work? I've learned so much from your videos. Appreciate you. Thanks for watching. But it gets harder with more complex objects like characters. That's where I'm struggling. Like drawing someone from the side where half the shoulder is behind. Okay, perspective. Characters in perspective, I think is the hardest. Characters in perspective, I think is the hardest. I think it's Alexander Wilkins. You have not been selected by the wheel yet. Only those selected by the wheel. So characters in perspective, it is the hardest, but it's the same principle, right? A character can be broken down into basic shapes. Yeah, let's just do it with 2D shapes. Okay, there you go. There's a character for you. Now you can apply that. You can apply that to 3D perspective, okay? If I just draw that in a box, for example. If I want to draw that in a perspective box where the character's shoulder is hiding the body, right? Let's start with the box. Let's do a side-on view like this, for example. Follow the perspective lines. This is very rough, by the way. But notice how I just need to now map this all out. I just need to map this all out to this plane and this plane and this face. You know what I'm saying? There you go. There's the head. The head is there. Following this, same perspective line. Shoulders here. Chest is here. Body down. Where's this? It's there. No problem. Remember, these are 3D shapes, so I'll do it accordingly. Shoulders here. Legs, blah blah blah. You get the idea, right? It's basic shapes put into perspective. If you can draw a circle, if you can draw a square, if you can draw a cylinder, you're good. If you can draw those things in perspective, you can draw anything in perspective. What do you think about my art? I'm doing. We'll get to that if you are selected. If you're selected, learning 3D sculpting for foreshortening, learning animation for gesture, learning exactly. Love what you're doing. Thank you, Alexander. Appreciate it. How can I be added to the wheel? Of course. Right, let's do a spin. Let's spin the wheel because I can't remember what we were doing. I made 2 eyes from Terraria and Wings characters. Nice. Boom, 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 boom. Dudes, you have been added. Dudes. Who else wanted to be added? Genial, you have been added. Made cylinders, cubes based on your 3D shapes tutorial. The isometric one. Can you give me something that would help on drawing 4 directional characters? Up, down, left, right, top, down. It's hard. 4 directionals is hard, but you can do some shortcuts with 4 directional characters. For example, this is a front-facing character. Copy paste. There's the back view. Do a little butt. There's the back view. Left and right, okay, I would probably do like a line, like a turnaround, if you've ever done a turnaround. Again, you can compare the features where the main features are. So here's the eyes, here's the mouth, here's the bottom of the mouth, here's the bottom of the legs, and then draw the side view based on these proportions. So legs there, boom, boom. Okay, what else do I need to do? Well, the eyes are here. Okay, cool. The mouth, the top of the mouth is here. Okay, cool. Where's the bottom of the mouth? There, no worries. There you go. And there you have it. And then don't forget the butt. There. There's a side view. And then how do you do the other side? Copy, paste, flip that thing. There you go. 4 directions. Just like that. Do we have 2 chats? Yes, we've got 2 chats. Facebook. No, we're not on Facebook. YouTube and Twitch. Okay, folks, let's do this. Let's spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. I'll do 2 more. 2 more, and then we're good. I appreciate everyone hanging out in the streams. If you like the feedback streams, make sure you follow, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Who wins? The winner is... Oh, Zubu, you're going to get lucky? You're going to get lucky, Zubu. Zubu, you've been waiting patiently. Zubu, tag me in your work, my friend. Let's check it out. For those of you that don't get selected, we got a lot more people today than we did last week. If you don't get selected, we do this every Friday, so do not worry. Every Friday, you always got a chance. The earlier that you are, by the way, the earlier that you are to the stream, the more chance you've got, I think, because there's less people here. So 6 p.m. GMT is the usual start time. Don't miss it. Be there or be square. Is this the last pick? One more after this one. So is this Project Squealer? Please confirm, Zerbu. Please confirm. Project Squealer. Let's do this. Okay, so this one is interesting. They want feedback on opening dialogue. Okay, I'm not like a writer or anything, but I mean, I do know how to speak. So let's go. So let me read this out. The game starts with Olo, Von, and Zoros talking on some currently unnamed in-game device that works kind of like a tablet. Olo is standing outside his house while Von and Zoros are at a park that's very nearby. Okay, I'm going to have to do voices for this, aren't I? Oh my goodness. Okay, let's go. The characters are kids. Oh my goodness. Making Soul read, I wake. Epic window. Epic windows, the whole game is reading. I'm out. Catch you later. Thanks for hanging out, Alexander. Appreciate you. Not really. A big problem with the wheel is that someone that joins very late has the same chance of getting picked up. A big problem with the wheel is that someone that joins very late has the same chance of getting picked on the wheel than someone who joined very early. True. Maybe we should have intakes. Wheel intakes at certain intervals. So we'll do one intake at the start and then we'll do an intake later on. That's a good idea. Perhaps we'll do that next time. But anyway, Olo. Zoros, my boy, what's up? Olo, we've got a really scary... Okay, I can't do it like that. I'm just going to read it normally. Zoros, my boy, what's up? Olo, we've got a really scary mystery to solve. I was going to explore the greenhouse that's super duper not abandoned. Scared look with indicators of shaking. But when I got inside, I found something really, really wrong. The plants. The plants were growing. Face plant, lol. But plants are supposed to grow, aren't they? No, I mean, they're growing. Okay. Face about turnips. They're growing turnips? Turnips, yes. And it's not just one or two. It's like all of them. The strawberry plants, the gooseberry plants, the plants that usually don't grow anything. Even the statue that looks like a plant is growing those things. Turnips? And, yes, Vaughn. But how could that be happening? I don't remember there being turnip plants there. Maybe the turnip monster put them there. A monster? Or maybe an evil wizard cast a spell to turn the plants into turnip plants. An evil wizard? Finding out will be an epic adventure. Geez, Zoros, that sounds kind of dangerous. I'm sure there's a logical explanation. Whatever it is, we're the best detectives in the world, and there's no mystery we can't solve. Let's go, team. Olo, Von, Zoros. Interesting. Interesting. It's kind of cool, yeah. Turnips. I like that. Voice acting is next after game dev and art. No thanks. Not really, though. People who joined early had multiple chances. It's not reset each time. True, Aki. Yeah, they did have multiple chances. They did have multiple chances because we spin the wheel more when they're there. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting. I am intrigued. I'm intrigued, which I guess is good. Like, I don't know what I can really give you in terms of writing advice. We do have a writer. We have a very good writer in the Discord, MP Kate, one of the mods. So you could probably ping MP Kate for some more feedback on that, actually, if you'd like. In fact, I'll do that for you. This one is for you. If you have any tips or suggestions. There you go. Theo, you're very unlucky you would never get picked. So maybe some sort of, how do I say it? You're very unlucky you would never get picked. Yeah, I don't know the best way to do the whole feedback thing. Like, doing it in the list, the gacha kind of like guaranteed jackpot if you roll 100 times. Yeah, that would be good. Like, if you've been here a lot of times. I did like the old version more because there was actually a guarantee of getting feedback even if you had to wait a long time. The problem with the old version, though, and this is something that we ran into a lot, was because it takes me so long to get through them all, it was literally a month ago, this one. And yes, you did get feedback, definitely. You definitely did get feedback. However, there's times when I've given the feedback and the people that just haven't even been in the community anymore. You know what I'm saying? They just haven't been there. I think if you want guaranteed